Hi guys! Today I'll be showing you how I did this set of Pokemon nails. And what do you know? My dad and brother received a set of Pokemon keychains from the health promotion board earlier this week as a gift? A prize? For clocking in 10k steps a day over a period of time. I think. Not so sure. But so 巧 right? Like my previous nail video, I've already done the base coat and the base color for each nail's design. So let's get started. For the first nail, I'm starting off with a white base and using red gel polish to paint some squares and triangles randomly across the nail. Some of the shapes are filled, the rest are not. The shapes are painted in random sizes too, so that they don't appear too uniform. Remember to leave some space in between because we are going back with blue to paint the same stuff. Squares and triangles of different sizes, with some filled in and some not. I didn't really like how this pattern turned out, so I wiped everything away and painted the shapes again. And this doesn't look good either. I think it can definitely look better, so I wiped it away again and repainted everything, and finally I think this looks quite alright. I'm happy with how this one turned out, so I'm going to cure this one. To make this a mini game, let's play Who's That Pokemon? Can you guess which Pokemon this is? Comment your answers down below. Okay, next nail. I'm going to start off with a purple base and paint a black rectangle on the top half of the nail. Below the rectangle, on the left, I'm going to paint a little cross, and on the right, I'm going to dot 2 little dots. Right at the bottom of the nail, I'm going to paint 2 little dashes. Next, I'm going back in with grey to fill in the rectangle. I didn't wipe my brush clean and the grey ended up with little swirls of white, but I actually quite like how it looks, so I'm going to leave it like this, and the nail is done. So it's time for Who's That Pokemon? It's the Purple Among Us dude! It's trying to be an imposter as a Pokemon. Just kidding. It's actually not even a Pokemon, it's a device that I played my first Pokemon game in, a Game Boy Color. I chose purple because that's the color that my family owns. In fact, my brother has kept our Game Boy Color all these years. Looking at it now, I realized that my purple was too red though. Oops. Oh, and this is the very cartridge that we played our first Pokemon game on. After I was done with the nail, I showed it to my brother who asked if he could tell what I drew, and he said, Among Us? And so after that, I really couldn't unsee the purple dude from Among Us in this nail. My other brother said it was Gengar. Okay, on to the next nail. Starting with a white base, I'm going to draw a black question mark in the middle of the nail. Next, I'm going to draw a speech bubble around the question mark in green. This speech bubble I drew looked quite wonky, so I wiped it off and repainted it. Now, one of the strokes went too close to the question mark, so I wiped that stroke away with a clean brush and painted it again, a little bit further from the question mark this time around. And the nail is done! Can you tell? Who's that Pokemon? Hint, it's a representation of one particular Pokemon in the anime. Moving on to the next nail, I'm starting off with a grey base. I'm going to paint and fill in the silhouette of a Pokemon using dark blue. It looks a little bit like Batman right now. Then I'm going to paint the Pokemon's face using beige with its hairline in the M shape. And then I'm going to use the same glue to paint the Pokemon's features. This is when I realized that I painted the silhouette a little too low on the nail and had not enough space for its mouth, so I just painted the mouth on the free edge of the nail. And then still using the same blue, I painted some Z monsters above the Pokemon. And this nail is completed! Yay!
Who's that Pokemon?
For the left pinky, I'm starting off with an almost neon orange base. I'm going to paint a long rectangle from one corner of the nail to the middle in a darker orange. At the tip of the triangle, I'm going to paint a silhouette of a flame in red. And then, with the same brush, I'm going back in with yellow without cleaning the previous red polish off. This gives the effect of red swirls in the yellow polish. And then, I'm going back in with yellow, this time cleaning the brush so that there is no more red polish mixed in with the yellow. Using the same yellow, I'm going to paint one of the sides of the orange triangle yellow. And that's it for the nail. So,
Who's that Pokemon?
alright, we are halfway through because we are done with the left hand. Yay! Now we can move on to the right hand. For the thumb, I'm just going to stick this Pikachu charm on. If you have watched my previous Squid Game nails video, you'll know that I bought this set of nail charms just for the Pikachu. So of course I'm going to be using it for this set of nails. In fact, I'm doing a Pokemon nail set because of this Pikachu charm. I'm going to be attaching it on my thumb because the charm is rather big. At first, I wanted to attach it on my fourth finger, but it's too big for that nail, so I'm going to put it on one of my biggest nail, which obviously is the thumb. I just brushed on some nail gem glue in the middle and placed the Pikachu on the nail, trying my best to position it in the middle. After it is stuck into place, I'm going to apply more nail gem glue around the Pikachu, filling in the gaps between the charm and the nail. So, I guess there's no need for who's this Pokemon for this nail, right? Moving on to the index finger, I'm starting off with a brown base. Using black polish, I'm going to paint a hexagon in the middle of the nail. To make things easier for myself, I'm going to dot the 6 corners of the hexagon on the nail and then connect the 6 dots together using lines. Turned out a little bit wonky. Okay, let's wipe it off and start over again. And still not in the middle of the nail. Okay, wipe and start over again. Finally, this time it seems more promising. Now that we finally have a hexagon in the middle of the nail, I'm going to draw a line from each corner, extending it all the way to the edge of the nail. I had some trouble getting the lines in the right angle, so I had to do it a few more times. One trick I realized was to make sure that the lines are parallel to the lines on the hexagon. And the nail is done!
Who's that Pokemon?
It's a basketball! Nah, just kidding. No, really. Who's this Pokemon? For the middle finger, I didn't apply any base color. It was just a layer of base coat. Then I painted the tip of the nail red. Because I needed more space for the nail art at the bottom, I painted the red tip a little thicker than a usual French tip. I went back with a clean brush to clean up the lines. Next, I went back in with white polish to paint half of the red tip white. Then, using black polish, I went back in to paint a thin line separating the white and the red polish. So my card went out of space, so the footage got cut halfway, and I finished the rest of the line off camera because I didn't realize that it wasn't recording. So anyway, I'm finally going to finish the nail with a flat back pearl. I chose the smallest sized pearl that I have and applied the same nail gem gel in the middle of the nail, near the tip, positioning the pearl in the middle of the black line. After curing it into place, I applied another layer of the nail gem glue to secure it further. And it's time for another
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Voltorb! Just kidding, it's actually not a Pokemon, it's a Pokeball. Moving on to the fourth finger, I'm going to start with a green base. Using darker green, I'm going to paint triangles of different sizes randomly across the nail. And that's it! So simple, right? Can you guess?
Who's that Pokemon?
Alrighty, I'm finally down to the last nail. Starting off with a pink base, I'm going to apply a layer of pink glitter to give this nail more bling. Then, I'm going to paint a crochet using black polish. And that's it for this nail!
Who's that Pokemon?
Okie dokie, we are done with all 10 designs, and all that's left to do is to apply a layer of no wipe glossy gel top coat. As for the charm with the Pikachu charm, I'm just going to apply the top coat around the charm. There's only 8 Pokemon in this set of Pokemon nails, since one of them is a Game Boy Color and the other is a Pokeball. Were you able to guess what the 8 Pokemon are? Okay, 7, since one is obviously a Pikachu. Let me know your answers down below. I really hope you can tell what Pokemon the different nails represent. I really love the Pikachu nail the most because the charm is just super cute. And it's also the easiest to do since all I had to do was just to glue it on. I only wish that it was smaller because I mean, the smaller it is, the cuter it looks, right? Right. Thanks for watching me paint my nails and I hope you get some inspiration for your nails too. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I had to get my mom's help to film the shots where both my hands were in the frame. And so this happened. I'll go nearer, nearer. Further, further. What the heck? Nearer! What the heck? No!
Further.
I want both hands! Hello! Yes, yes. Oh no, nearer, nearer! Stop!
Why you must move 20 cm every time?
No, I want up, up. Help! Nearer,
But I view, but I view, but I view.
If you help me lah, you.